now, and then you could just, whenever we're ready, give it a few seconds and smiling into the camera, and then we can begin.
Okay. In 3, 2. Okay, I'll go ahead and start in a second.
Okay, great.
All right, we are here welcoming Father Matthew David Morris. Father Matthew David Morris, welcome.
Thank you so much.
To have you here as part of our All Saints service. Yeah, I'm just hoping, I'm going on leave in 2 weeks, and I thought it would be nice to have an introduction for our All Saints people and whoever might be watching this to get a little sense of who you are, so that you weren't just like a random face out of nowhere. So yeah, I'll just set some of our conversation up by saying we've met a little bit with staff and our executive team, and you can share your sense, but my sense in these meetings has been that it's a really easy, fun fit. People are feeling really good about it. So if you haven't had a chance yet to have time with Matthew David yet, everyone so far has been feeling really good about it. And
Well, that's great.
yeah. So how about you? How is that?
No. Yeah, that's a lovely thing to hear. First off, that's great. I've enjoyed our conversation so far. I'm thrilled at this opportunity to be with All Saints for the next few months while you are having this amazing transformation and change and transition in your life of your family. It's really wonderful.
Thank you.
And yeah, everything I've experienced so far, just in the conversations that we've had over Zoom and the things that we talked about in terms of imagining what this time is going to be like together, have been exciting, have been creative and generative, and really are my first experience doing this. You know, All Saints is getting this like brand new priest.
Yeah, I don't know if people know you were ordained May
the 9th.
May 9th. Yes.
Which is my birthday, actually. It's also my birthday. It's a very, very special 41st birthday. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really cool ordination. I was participated through Facebook.
Awesome.
But yeah, you're coming with all of this energy and new ideas, and I think in the conversations it's really confirmed, like, this is, you know, all the pieces are coming together. This is a good thing. So.
Well, it's been an amazing and challenging season for the church broadly, for churches in Portland. And my ordination happened in the middle of it, in the middle of this pandemic, and in the middle of trying to figure out what it means to be church together and to continue to have the rhythms of life together in church, even though we can't sort of occupy the same space in the same way that we have in the past. Before ordination, I was at St. Michael and All Angels, serving as their deacon during my transitional diaconate. And before St. Michael and All Angels, I've been at a couple other churches in town. My sponsoring parish is St. David of Wales, and I love the folk over there. And Grace Memorial is where I did my internship. I served at St. Stephen's for a little bit of time. I served as a campus minister. I feel like I really know the diocese at this point.
Yeah.
Most recently, I served on the bishop's staff, helping during this transition into the digital hybrid reality that we're in, to help other congregations do that. So I was sort of like a digital video resource specialist person. So like I've had a lot of opportunities to serve in these different ways, but this is the first time that I've ever, as a priest, been invited to kind of journey with a community for a period of time, you know, to accompany a community in the way that priests are called to do. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and the piece you bring from your recent work at the diocese, I think, is really helpful, like helping congregations into these new ways we're experiencing what it means to be church. So
yeah, because we're still church, you know, we still are the church. And this community, what's really interesting for me is coming into All Saints, you know, my introduction here is not in the parish hall. You know, we're not I'm not looking out at a sea of faces. You know, we're not sharing church coffee and having pastries and doing the thing. Do you know what I mean? Because that is often the way that we have our introduction. So I am now stepping into this position with a kind of great curiosity about who is on the other side of the screen. I don't know. I don't know who all of you are. And so figuring out how to facilitate these kinds of introductions and to begin to be church together in this sort of new way and with this new relationship is new. I keep using that word, but it is, we're going to have to think about it differently. And I find that challenge to be really invigorating and
Yeah.
fun. You know, it is, even though it's not what we're accustomed to, and sometimes that can really be destabilizing, you know, we don't do what we're used to doing.
Right.
But from experience, I just feel like God's Spirit continues to move through all of this in ways that are life-giving. And sometimes our job is just to look for that, like to try to,
Right.
to discern where that movement is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What's one way, like in pandemic life, where you are experiencing God's presence in
That's a
in
great question.
surprising
Well,
ways?
I do like moments like this where we can do synchronous things together. Zoom is tricky, you know, for some folks. It's like our first experience of using Zoom, and it takes a little while to get comfortable with it. But then I've been a part of little groups, and I know there are some at All Saints that have been thriving.
Yeah.
These Zoom group meetings that have been wonderful. I've been doing Compline with a group of people since the pandemic started, and that's been fantastic. I've been joining in at St. David of Wales morning prayer Zoom, which is wonderful. They've also invited everyone at All Saints. If All Saints wants to come, everyone can jump in, right? This is the beauty of the Zoom meeting.
Right.
So opportunities actually to kind of ground myself and to be grounded in community in prayer, I think have been maybe the most stabilizing and most helpful part of my transition during this time of pandemic, mainly because it helps me to remember the parts of my faith that usually the building reminded me of, or seeing other people reminded me of. We have to do different things to be reminded of who we are in our faith and who we are as Christians and as Episcopalians, as Anglicans, all of these things. So I found that to be really life-giving. I've also found I've been crocheting a lot more.
Nice. Yes.
Process
of a show and tell.
Can I show you?
Godly play.
I am making a blanket using my grandma's pattern. This little blanket.
Cool.
I've made I have a whole stack of hats. It's not the season to wear them right now, but
but they'll be ready when it is.
But they will be ready. I don't know. Is there like a yarn or a knitting group at All Saints?
Yes. Yeah, we have a wonderful, thriving prayer shawl ministry, and they make hats and scarves for the guests who come for our hot meals. So we'll continue that.
Wait, are they doing that on Zoom?
That's a new opportunity.
I mean, I don't want to go starting tons of things, but if there are people who are willing to sit with a priest and a cup of coffee and a batch of yarn.
During Zoom coffee hour, you can see some of the hands working. So yeah.
That's exciting. See, this is what I mean. I'm excited to discover the sort of the vitality in the life that's happening at All Saints already, and to be welcomed into that. I think that's going to be cool. Yeah,
I agree. Speaking of that, what are some of the things that you're imagining or hoping for these next 3 months at All Saints?
Well, in the first conversations that I've been a part of with members and leaders at All Saints, I've gotten a window into how important service and care for the community is to the identity of All Saints. From the ministries around food to the history of doing ministries with the dental ministry to the everything that happens in the parking lot, basically, which is this sort of amazing parking lot, right?
Yes.
Where all of a sudden it's like a pop-up parking lot. And I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested in seeing how like how that can continue to thrive. Maybe there are people who haven't been involved in that in the past who have been wondering how to be involved. Like how can you be involved in safe ways during the pandemic and still feel connected? I think it's a question that may be on people's hearts and not even know that it's okay to ask it. Like it's perfectly okay. So I am imagining that as I'm sort of in discovering All Saints during this short period of time, that maybe the members of All Saints might help me in that discovery, and then we might discover together what some new ways are for them to be plugged in to the ministries of the church, or to have their own sort of ministry thrive. Again, because things are so shaken up right now, it's it's kind of a terrific opportunity to start thinking creatively. So maybe I can be someone who helps brainstorm with the community how we want to continue to try new things together, so that when you return, in a very short period of time, there are these sort of like, there's new seeds that people have planted in the soil that has been tilled here, and then I just think that would be a really cool thing. And it's in some ways just dependent on like where folks are, what's stirring their hearts, and how can I help support that.
Yeah, very nice. Well, and that fits along with all the planting metaphors we've had this last month in our.
Yes, we have, haven't we?
some new seeds, and I'll come back and see what's popping up. I love it. We're probably kind of at about time, just because our service will continue. But I have loved this. I just want to encourage everyone. My experience of Father Matthew David has been that he is very available. Reach out, say hi, whatever that is, email, give him a call, but don't be intimidated to do that. I think you would love to hear from people, right?
Oh, very much so. I mean, I would love for everyone's, basically, if you want to call and give me a sense of what your experience of All Saints is like, you can then help me understand the fullness of the community. Just imagine that it's like we're all in parish hall.
Yes.
You wanted to tell me about your own experience in All Saints, and kind of just, I am a newcomer. I am the capital N newcomer at All Saints for the next few months. So however you would respond in that way, just send me an email or.
Yeah. You both can have coffee and a donut.
Yes, I'll bring my yarn and my coffee. We'll hop on a Zoom meeting and we'll have our introductory conversation. I think it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Well, again, thank you so much. We're looking forward to it. See you soon.
See you very soon.
All right, take care. All right.